Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our daily show on trading calls, where we try and help you out of positions that you may have taken for the short term and have now resulted in them becoming deliveries which are loss making. We are joined today by Mr. Jay Thakkar, Head of Derivatives and Quantitative Research and Vice President at ICICI Securities. नमस्ते ठक्कर साहब, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका। बड़े दिनों में दर्शन हुए। बताइए क्या लगता है, निफ्टी आज एक बाउंस है 8 दिन की गिरावट के बाद। विल दिस बाउंस कंटिन्यू और आर वी हेडेड फॉर अ पेन?
नमस्ते शैल जी, हमेशा अच्छा लगता है आपके शो पर आने के लिए। धन्यवाद मुझे यहाँ पे बुलाने के लिए, आमंत्रित करने के लिए। इट्स ऑलवेज अ प्लेजर शैल जी, आपसे और अपना बिजनेस एंटायर टीम के साथ बात करके। सी एज ऑफ नाउ मुझे क्या लगेगा शैल जी, अगर आप देखेंगे सो व्हाट हैपेंड इज के आई एम सॉरी व्हाट हैज हैपेंड इज शैल जी कि अगर आप देखें तो पिछले कुछ दिनों से ये काफी बार ऐसा हो गया है कि 22,800 के नीचे मार्केट जाता है, ज्यादा टिकता नहीं, वहां से ऊपर क्लोज दे देता है। ओके, और वीकली एक्सपायरी की ज्यादा मैं बात करूँ तो वीकली एक्सपायरी तो 22,800 पे होती नहीं है, 23,000 के ऊपर ही हो जाती है। लास्ट वीकली एक्सपायरी भी अगर आप देखें तो 23 के ऊपर हो गई। ये वीकली एक्सपायरी में कल जब मार्केट खुले वीक थे, सुबह एक फॉल हमें 22,725 का लो बनाया शैल जी। उसमें अगर आप देखें तो मॉर्निंग में पुट साइड पर ज्यादा कुछ एक्टिविटी नहीं थी, बट टुवर्ड्स द एंड जब कवरिंग आई और मार्केट पॉजिटिव बंद हुआ, 8 दिन की जो आपने बात की कि 8 दिन की लूजिंग स्ट्रीक को उसके बाद एक पॉजिटिव क्लोज आया, तो फुट बेस थोड़ा बन गया 22,500-600 पर। मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ कि ये वीकली एक्सपायरी में मुझे निफ्टी 22,500-600 की रेंज के नीचे नहीं है। और ऑन द फ्लिप साइड ये भी कहूंगा कि आप देखिए पीसीआर 0.7 पे है अप्रोक्सीमेटली, तो आपका कॉल बेस अच्छा बना हुआ है 23,000 से लेकर 23,300 यहाँ। तो एक रेंज एज ऑफ नाउ मुझे 22,600 से 23,300 की लग रही है। ये रेंज के बीच में ये वीकली एक्सपायरी रह सकती है, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। जब तक 22,500-600 की रेंज के नीचे बंद नहीं आता, यहाँ से फ्रेश शॉट करने की इंडेक्स पर मेरी राय।
Okay. Start the सिलसिला ऑफ क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स। ठक्कर साहब, हमारे साथ वैशाली चौधरी जुड़ी हुई हैं एंड शी इज़ राइटिंग ऑन यूट्यूब that she has bought L&T 35 shares at 3,470 and Geo Finance 500 shares at 280. She wants to know what are the levels of accumulation. Also, please convey a target if you have for L&T and Geo Finance.
Sure. Well, see, as far as L&T is concerned, I would say that since start of 24, that is last year, it's been almost a year now. February 24 is where we saw this lows coming in 3,200 to 3,250, and I think it's revisiting and making those lows as well. So right now, I don't think that this is a time to accumulate L&T. L&T you can accumulate if it goes beyond 3,300. You get a confirmation that okay, this time again 3,200 levels are being hold and it's going to move up or higher again until 35 to 36. So beyond 3,300 levels, if you see, you can accumulate L. If it falls to say 3,000, then you can accumulate there 3,000 or 3,300. And these levels is where you can accumulate L&T. Right now, it's in the middle with a negative bias line. As far as Geo Finance is concerned, we have continuously taking this stock, short build up in this stock. There's a lot of MTF position as well, shall be on Geo Finance, and some of the top 5 or top 10. So hence the pain is continuously seen in Geo Finance. I think one should wait and watch until we get a meaningful bottom in place or reversal. There is no such reversals specifically in Geo Finance, so avoid buying right now till you get a confirmation.
Fair point. That's the answer on L&T and Geo Finance for Vaishali Chaudhary. Let's get a bit deeper into more questions. and there is one coming in from Kalpesh Patel. He is writing on WhatsApp, and Thakkar Sahab, he wants your opinion on power stocks for two reasons. He says कि मुंबई में इंडिया पावर सेक्टर की डिमांड अपटिक पर है और अगले महीने से गर्मी का सीजन शुरू हो जाएगा and there will be an uptick on the national level as far as power demand is concerned. Any particular power stock that you have in mind? He wants your view on Tata Power, Power Grid and NTPC. पटेल साहब, दिल्ली में तो जनवरी में ही इस बार गर्मी शुरू हुई है, तो एसी वगैरह हमारे यहाँ तो सर्विस हो चुके हैं. अब पता नहीं मुंबई में क्या चल रहा है, वहाँ तो मेरे ख्याल से एसी बंद ही नहीं हुए. बट यू आर राइट, पावर डिमांड इज ऑन द अपटिक. एंड ओवर टू जय.
Yeah, there is a high possibility of a bounce back in power stocks. Shelji, I would say that one thing, NTPC, I'm very clear that we have seen a lot of shorts build up on NTPC, and now what we are seeing is the shorts are getting covered as well. Okay, but the prices have not seen that bounce back happening. Okay, so basically, right from the fall, of 450, we saw shorts getting built up on NTPC, and it continued until the lows of 300 initially. Now the shorts have in fact come down by almost 25 to 30%. Those many shorts have been covered, but we haven't seen a bounce back or a price reaction. Although technically, if you see, I would say there is a positive divergence on NTPC, but then the stock is still not moving higher. It has formed a good falling wedge pattern as well with this short covering. So there is a fair chance NTPC among all of them, I think, has a good chance of a bounce back. On the downside, 290, 85 should be a good support, and if at all there is a bounce back, it can bounce till 330. So that can be a good 10% upside in the near term.
Okay, okay. So this is the view on the power sector. Most of these stocks have also corrected very sharply. We've seen 450 on Tata Motors, 340 on NTPC. Power Grid has also seen better days. So these are quality stocks now available at much below their all-time highs. Momita writes in from Kolkata and on WhatsApp, between Trent and ABRFL, which would be a good one to enter now for 1 or 2 years, or should they be avoided, and should something else be looked into? Thakkar Sahab, your choice between Trent and Aditya Birla Fashion Retail. If none of them passed your muster, anything that you would suggest to Momita? She's from Calcutta.
Sure, Shelji. I think she is looking out for something from the consumption story point of view. Trend seems to be weak. We have seen a lot of stock build-up happening there. A good reversal from the medium to long-term point of view as well. After stock had in fact, gone up by almost, I would say, from 100 levels to maybe 8,000 levels plus. So it was like 80 times. After which the stock has started correcting. I think for a medium to long term, the stock might remain sideways to negative, and same is the case with ABFRL. If you are chasing consumption, I think you can chase DMart, which has come to a good levels. Okay, so they are also selling good clothes of theirs as a distributor, and DMart overall from the retail point of view, I think is a good story from the consumption point of view. So you should be looking out for a DMart, which is not to the same sector, but from the consumption theme, I would say that relatively looks better.
Okay, so that's the view on ABRFL and Trent, as also DMart. Thakkar Sahab, let's shift back to YouTube. Questions are now coming in thick and fast. There is Arun Kumar Gupta, and he wants to discuss CAMS. I'll request the PCR to fire the long-term chart of this back-end services provider for mutual fund sector, which accounts for 80% of market share. Now, Arun Kumar Gupta has purchased 130 shares of CAMS at 4,530 and 340 shares of CDSL, again in the back-end business of DMATs, 340 shares at 1430. He wants to know your view on both these counters. And Ankur Modi has also asked whether he can buy CDSL at current levels for the long term. So 2 on CDSL and 1 on CAMS. CAMS is 1,000 points lower than the purchase price.
I'm in for both. I would say CAMS and CDS and Shelby both have seen good amount of shorts build up since they have come into the FM. The prices corrected heavily, and we have seen good positive divergence in the short term in the leading as well as lagging indicators. Okay, in both of them. I mean, even if I look relatively the lagging indicator, which would be the MACD momentum, even that's showing a positive divergence both on CANs and CDS. After having falling so much, corrected so much, I think it makes a good room for a bounce back, a good candidate for a bounce back. And recent fall has been seen quite overlapping. So 2 days of fall and thereafter 2 days of or one day of recovery. So the fall is not coming that straight as it was. So there's a good chance of now that the momentum is weakening on the lower side, and hence you can see that short going.
Okay, so we've taken CAMS and CDSL, and there's one more stock from Ankur Modi. He wants to know about Varun Beverages. Can we buy Varun Beverages? He wants to know at current levels. So what is your view? This is also a multi-bagger stock over the last 10 years or so, 5 years or so, and it has again, like the rest of the market, corrected fairly sharply.
It has corrected quite sharply. In fact, it has broken its multiple support levels of say 500 and 2025 very sharply with a clear sell in its momentum from the medium to long term point of view as well. And I think it has started its retracement entirely, Shelji, right from the 42 levels. We saw the stock going up to 700 levels approximately. So I think there is much more pain yet left. There can be a bounce back, no doubt about it. But then we are seeing a good short build-up happening in VBL as well, since it has come into the FNO space since December series. So all of these stocks were lately introduced into FNO from December series are seeing good amount of shorts. VBL is one among them as well, and it has also come to a good support level of 475. So there can be some bounce back from 475 to 500 or so. The overall trend has shifted from up to down is what I can say. So overall trend is down, so one should not buy from the medium to long term point of view.
Okay, fair point. Let's get a question from WhatsApp, and this is Gul. He's, I think, writing in from Kerala. He wants to know if this is the right time to add more stocks and average the following in HAL and BEL and Fortis Healthcare.
But see, defense is one of the sectors which is the worst hit today as well. And this is one sector which has seen a good up move and has made huge money for the investors. And now we are seeing pain in land, we are seeing correction in land. And why? Because still people are in profit. Even at these levels, I'm sure many must be in profit only if those who invested at much earlier levels. Right. Hence, this sector overall will take a lot of time to bottom out, is what I believe, because at higher levels, again, people would like to exit from this stock because there is a lot of these stocks in the hand of retail. Okay. So, till that, generally, we don't see a panic or a huge consolidation. It doesn't make sense for me to get into retail into defense because defense maybe is well known to everyone and many of them have it and many of them are stuck at the higher level. All I can say is that it's oversold, market is oversold, the bounce back can come. But if you ask me whether one should be creating a portfolio in defense and having defense stocks, I'm not with that opinion. In fact, HAL has again broken its short-term range. So again, going about 3,500 would be challenging for HAL. So slowly and gradually, the overall trend and momentum is weakening. So whenever one gets a chance, one can trim the positions in defense sector.
Okay, that's very well explained. 12:16 now. Let's again pay attention to what YouTube is asking us. You have a question coming in from Aman Aneja, and he wants to know about two very strong favorites of the market over the last 1 year or so: NetWeb Technologies and Anantraj Industries. Both of them are based out of Delhi NCR. NetWeb is a hardware maker in the supercomputing space, working out of Faridabad, and of course Anantraj Industries is a very well known real estate developer in the capital. Both of these stocks have corrected again sharply from recent highs. Thakkar Saab, view on NetWeb and view on Anantraj Industries.
Well, both of these are non-FNO, and generally I would say that I have been tracking very closely the FNO names, although because I look at the derivatives and so on, but nevertheless, looking technically, Anant Raj, then, Shanji, what's happening is this stock started its rally from 43 rupees, Anant Raj, and went as high as 900 approximately, so 20 times. I mean, that was the wave 3 of this stock. The current correction which we are seeing is the wave 4. So wave 4 would take a lot of consolidation, is what I believe. Price-wise correction has happened almost near to 50% of its previous rise. So from 900 it has come to 500. So it has corrected by 50%. It can go and correct to 61% as well going forward. But I think that time-wise correction would also, which will happen in Anantraj, because that move from 40 to 900 or 45 to 900 is 20 times. And once the stock moves this kind of or makes this kind of a move, it takes time for next another bull market move on the upside. And prior to that, it makes some consolidation. That is what is likely to happen in Anantraj. So one should, those who are invested already at higher levels or want to buy at current levels, be having this point in mind that it will take time to deliver the same kind of returns or probably the same kind of a move again. So time wise also one should be having that kind of vision if you're getting into Anantraj. If not, if your time limit is less than a year, I don't think that is one stock apart from a bounce. As far as network is concerned, technically the history is very less for me to comment much on this. All I can say is that the fall which started right from 3,000 and now the stock is to 1,300 levels appears to me as a five-wave declining structure technically. So there can be a bounce whenever with the market and it can bounce till its previous fourth levels of say 17 to 1,800 levels. That is all view I can have on network and not much larger.
Well, this was one of the most celebrated IPOs in July of 2023, some 18 months ago, and it doubled at the offer price on listing day. It doubled at about 921 or so when it got listed in the markets, and from then on it went 3x higher, 3,000. And this is what attracts retail investors, the momentum. So at 3,000, this was on 17th of December. And on 17th of February, exactly 2 months, the counter is at 1329. Thakkar Sahab, you want to say something?
This has corrected more than 61%. It's nearing to 78.6% retracement, Shailji, I would say. And generally, after you see this kind of an impulsive move,
Yes.
technically, then 61 to 78.6% retracement is generally where stocks may find support because it becomes oversold there. So from that angle too, apart from a five-wave decline structure, it's approaching its 70% retracement, which is coming to 1230, 40 zone. So the downside should be arrested around say these levels, which is 100 points from here on. And if at all there is a bounce, it can bounce to 1700 to 1800. So the risk reward will favor at least for a bounce from the near term, 3 to 6 months.
Okay. Let's go to a question on YouTube, this time from Avnish Chaudhary. He's asking just too many questions. Avnish, if you are listening to me, just ask about 2 or 3 questions. We are not very clear what you mean by Ola Electric, Paras Defense, Cochin Shipyard, IRFC, Kalyan, PCG. I can just take 2 from here, which make sensible thought process. This is a question coming in from Avnish Chaudhary, Thakkar Sahab, and he wants to know the right entry level for Kalyan Jewellers, Cochin Shipyard and Ola Electric. Let's stick with these. Kalyan Jewellers, Cochin Shipyard and Ola Electric.
Well, Shailji, I would say that the Kalyan Jewellers have seen huge shorts build up. We saw some covering as well coming in this stock, which made the stock bounce from 425 to 600. That was 50% move, I would say, from the lows. And that happened, say, within a week's time or so. The stock bounced back so sharply. But it has fallen from 800 to 400 as well. So it has gone half there as well. I think more or less Kalyan Jewellers, the right time to enter into Kalyan Jewellers is back around the levels of 400 or below, not now. I think if it comes to those levels, So right now at these levels, gold dwellers are facing some heat because obviously the footfalls are going to be less relatively. Okay, value-wise, transaction turnover will be higher, but the margins or maybe the PAT will be lower. Is what I believe at these levels. Also, the markets are not that supporting that. The money people are booking profit there and being buying there. So I think Kalyan Jewellers will consolidate to get at the lower levels you can enter. There's still short there pending out there. As far as Ola Electric is concerned, it's a non-economic stock and it's been heading lower only. Okay, in fact, what Shelly I have found is consumption-wise is definitely going to help. The kind of budget which we have got, and Madam has given that relief until 12 lakhs. So obviously, people are going to save until 80,000 to 1 lakh plus, right? So that consumption is going to help not only stocks like DMart, but also the hotel stocks and probably the two-wheeler name as well as the entry-level four-wheeler name as well. For example, Maruti and all. But in two-wheeler, Ola Electric has lost the market share to those of TVS as well in electric. There are TVS motors have become the leader in electric and not Ola Electric. So somehow because of their services, that pain they have seen, and hence the investors are seeing that pain. So till we don't see that revival coming in fundamentally in Ola Electric from the point of view of services or gaining market shares or increasing the sales in their bikes as compared to that of TVS and Hero, they will continue to gain if you are not performing. So that will not make sense for Ola Electric. We keep losing market share then. And their capex is already too high, right? We know that, and then they have to cover that. So Ola till you don't see that revival coming, I mean, even if you don't find stock at 80 thereafter, it's fine, but that revival is necessary. Otherwise, it will still continue to bleed. So Kalyan Jewellers, Ola Electric are having serious problems as far as the top line sales will be concerned, is what I believe. And Ola Electric has their own service problems as well. As of third stock, I forgot Shelji, which was it?
Let's shift to a different question.
Sure.
Let's go to Somalia Biswas from Kolkata. And this is a derivatives question, Thakkar Saab. Somalia Biswas wants to know about Nifty 22,300 put option expiring on February 20th, 2 days later. Please tell me about the stop loss and target for the option.
23,200 call option, right?
22,300. 22,300.
22,300 कॉल ऑप्शन इज टू इन द मनी, आई वुड से कॉल ऑप्शन आप अभी ट्रेड कर रहे हैं 22,800 पे, एंड 22,300 का कॉल ऑप्शन तो काफी अंदर है. मतलब पुट ऑप्शन है, पुट ऑप्शन आई वुड से एग्जिट. If that is the put option means it is too out of the money. I think one should be exiting. 22,300 का पुट ऑप्शन अगर मैडम आपके पास है तो आपको एग्जिट करना चाहिए. आई डोंट थिंक दैट एज ऑफ नाउ, जैसे मैंने शेयर जी को मेरा क्यों बताया अभी कि मुझे ये वाली एक्सपायरी एटलीस्ट दिस वीकली एक्सपायरी 22,500 600 के नीचे नहीं लगती, और नेक्स्ट 27 फरवरी वाली भी मुझे नहीं लगती एज ऑफ नाउ कि 22,300 आए. So I think that you should be exiting that. If you are bearish, then you should be long on 22,800 का put, because बाजार है ना वहीं पे बार बार आकर 22,800 it's flirting around those levels 22,800, मतलब आता है 800 और वहां से बाउंस करता है, एंड मेकिंग अगर आपका व्यू नेगेटिव व्यू आप देखो कहीं ना कहीं वो कॉल बायर्स को या तो पुट राइटर्स को कंफर्ट दे रहा है कि भाई मैं 800 के नीचे बंद नहीं होने वाला. वहां पे होगा तो 22,600 आ जाएगा. तो इफ यू आर laying from that angle on the negative side, then you should be buying 22,800 call, and to minimize your risk, you should be selling 22,600 call put option. So buy 22,800 put and sell 22,600 put. तो आप बेयर पुट स्प्रेड बना दो अगर आपका व्यू मंदी का है, एंड ट्रेड इट अकॉर्डिंगली रेदर, तो आपका सही जाने का चांसेस भी है. 22,600 तक भी आ गया तो 22,300 तो काफी दूर है.
Okay, this is a question that is coming in from Satya CK. The person has a position in Avantel and Office from higher levels than what the current market price is, and 6 months have gone by for the purchase. Missed an opportunity to book profits at higher levels. Satya wants to know, should both stocks be added at current levels, or please mention a stop loss and target, Avantel and Office.
Well, one tail I would say, Shailji, has been forming low tops and low bottoms continuously, and we're not seeing any respite in this stock. Technically, it's non-FNO stock again. I would say I track more. But then it means in a downtrend, serious downtrend, since it has got listed. I mean, it has not provided an exit to investors as well. So I don't see any reason technically to say that buy this stock or continue holding this stock. Honestly, for a month, as far as that is concerned. And as far as office is concerned, stock had given good returns. If you are in profit, you can book profits out here. Because if into a consolidation, hence I'm saying that if you are in profit, you can book profits in office because it's been consolidating, it's forming a triangular pattern, and unless it don't provide the breakout from this triangle pattern above the levels of 800, it might just consolidate within that band of 800 to 600. And if it breaks this band downside below 600, then you can understand that that 200 points or 100 points range will be shifted down. So trend is down, momentum is weak on office. Further, if you want to see that kind of upward momentum, which it has shown post listing from 400 until say 900, that kind of a momentum will be back above 800 or so because once it provides a breakout, else it will just consolidate.
Okay. Even Office hasn't done anything out of the ordinary since its peak of October, which was 950. Actually, peak of August, which was at 950, flat as flat can be. So, again, these are all overpriced IPOs, which are now finding their true market value, and all that Office does is put spaces out on rent, and if you think it deserves this kind of valuation, well, good luck to you. Let's again go back to YouTube, where Sonia Bankapur needs to know about a company called Intellect Design. Tucker Saab, do you have a view on Intellect Design?
So Intellect historically has even delivered good returns, I would say, Shelby, from COVID lows until, end of FY22, the stock had gone up right from say 50 rupees to 1,000 rupees. Then it corrected heavily and attempted to surpass those levels of 23. It went up to 400 and 400 again. It went to 1100. So that it has done. Now, technically speaking, see, it's been forming that expanding triangular pattern sort of a thing, or expanding falling channel. Okay, and that has a support around the levels of 600, 620, 30 range. That range should be a good range to enter. I think at least for a bounce back. I think that before a bounce back, it should not break 600. Okay, after a meaningful bounce back, only it should be breaking 600 if the trend has overall shifted down. तो 600 के आसपास आ जाए 600 630 के रेंज में मिले, it should be a good opportunity at least for a bounce.
Okay, fair point. Let's start wrapping up. Two important questions coming up. Somya Raut writes about purchasing Britannia at 5250, 5,250, and has 100 shares. Would you have a view on Britannia Industries? Okay, so she got probably the earnings they purchased 6 months ago, 3 months ago. Okay, now at 49.29. Hopes of consumerism picking up because of the budget bonanza that has come in the hands of retailers. 5250 ka purchase. What are the charts telling you at 49.31, Thakkar Saab, on Britannia Industries?
No, especially we have seen good amount of shorts getting built up on FMCG names, right? And Britannia was one among those stocks which has seen, in fact, almost kind of a lifetime high OI, or nearing to those, because those kind of things we have seen in February 21 as well. Lifetime high OI kind of a thing was seen in February 19 as well, in November 17 as well, and again in February 24. So last quarter of any financial year has been is where you have seen this stock seeing lifetime high, and you have seen this currently as well. It's still not seen much of covering, so I think that till 4,800 levels are held, there is a good chance of further short covering, which can help this stock to inch towards the 5,500. So there is a good chance for the trader to actually get an exit at around 5,500.
Okay, fair point. And let's just look at the last round of questions that we have that are coming in from the show. This is a one on a gentleman, Satyan from Trishur. He holds 220 shares of Emphasis at an average price of 3,000 rupees. And he wants to hold on for the next 1 or 2 years. He wants to know, Thakkar Sahab, should he hold Emphasis or should he switch into Scient or Persistent?
I think, see, Sand has also seen a good hit. Persistent is just witnessing that profit booking. However, Persistent has delivered good and still holding its long-term uptrend. So Persistent looks better, I would say. Emphasis trend has shifted from up to down, so holding it for a long term is not looking good. That's great to me. So LTTS, Scient, Persistent, this looks relatively better as compared to Emphasis. So actually, definitely a shift is required. Either you do it in all three of them, okay, equally, or maybe you do it in say Persistent and Scient, or Persistent and LTTS.
Okay. एंड फाइनल क्वेश्चन दिस टाइम इन हिंदी. ठक्कर साहब, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, शुक्रिया आप जुड़े और इतने अच्छे अपनी मीठी आवाज़ में इतनी बढ़िया राय दी ऑन व्हाट स्टॉक्स टू एग्जिट फ्रॉम, व्हाट नॉट टू डू एंड व्हाट टू डू. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम सर.
थैंक यू सो मच शैल जी, धन्यवाद एंड थैंक यू आपके शो पर बुलाने के लिए, आमंत्रित करने के लिए. लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड ऑलवेज बीइंग ऑन योर शो. थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू. और अब आखिरी प्रश्न ये हिंदी में है. यादव साहब लिखते हैं इंदौर से, अभी मार्केट कंडीशन के हिसाब से फ्लेक्सी कैप, मिड कैप एंड स्मॉल कैप म्यूचुअल फंड में से किस में लमसम इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए? तो यादव साहब, हम लोग पिछले 2 दिन से मल्टी कैप फंड्स पर ध्यान दे रहे हैं. इसमें 2 विकल्प निकाले, SBI मल्टी कैप फंड और कोटक मल्टी कैप फंड. इसके पीछे राय बहुत सरल है और वो ये है कि एक मुश्त नेट एसेट वैल्यू पर आपको मल्टी कैप फंड्स में लार्ज कैप, मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप तीनों अच्छे स्टॉक मिल जाते हैं. कोटक मल्टी कैप फंड लगभग 15-17% करेक्ट कर चुका है ऑल टाइम हाई से. SBI मल्टी कैप फंड 14%, 11% करेक्ट कर चुका है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप इन दोनों में लगाएं, लेकिन मल्टी कैप कैटेगरी पर ध्यान दीजिए. एक मुश्त रकम ना लगाएं, तोड़ कर महीने में कुछ पैसा लगाएं इसमें ज़रूर. और अगर आप कुछ अभी ख़रीदना चाहते हैं तो थोड़ी सी रकम आप इनमें लगाएं. मल्टी कैप फंड्स इस वक्त ज़्यादा आपको बाज़ार में बेनिफिट देते हुए दिखेंगे क्योंकि आप तीनों श्रेणी, लार्ज कैप, मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप, एक ही फंड में खरीद पाएंगे. जो इस सेक्टर का रेगुलेटर है म्यूचुअल फंड्स का, वो मल्टी कैप फंड्स को बांधता है कि आप 25% AUM का लार्ज कैप, मिड कैप, स्मॉल कैप में लगाएं. तो इससे आपको एक अच्छी छटनी होती हुई दिखती है और क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स इन तीनों सेक्टर्स के आपको एक ही नेट एसेट वैल्यू में आते हुए दिखते हैं. समाप्त करते हैं शो को यहाँ पर 12:36. कल फिर आपसे जुड़ेंगे डेली कॉल्स पर. धन्यवाद आप सबका.
It is not just India. Under Trump 2.0, the US has sent undocumented immigrants from several